Anything for that new Nintendo. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the newest edition of the Nintendo Switch 2 edition games that Nintendo's been releasing over the past few months since the Switch 2 came out. That being, and forgive this is a mouthful, Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Star-Crossed World. That is a lot for one game. The Switch 2 edition games are definitely weird because this is treated as both a brand new version of the game that's updated, as well as it being DLC, and I think this is probably the best one we've gotten so far. Of course, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom were more of just upgrading performance, what much needed in my opinion, and Mario Party Jamboree was a little underwhelming considering that it didn't really improve upon the original experience. It just added the new DLC, but didn't really give new graphics for the Switch 2. But this is an exception because this enhances the performance while also giving us new content to play. See, the difference between these two is that this is 30 FPS, this is 60 FPS, and the original was 720p on the Switch screen, and this is now 1080p on the new Switch 2 screen. I think on the TV screen it's also an increased resolution of 1440p, but regardless, it's an improvement. And along with that, you're given, I think, a new minigame, a couple of new Mouthful forms that this game's known for, and the Star-Crossed World DLC, which takes levels from the original game and kind of spins them into a different direction. It's DLC that doesn't necessarily feel like an add-on, but it just feels like a part 2 or sort of like a B-side to the original levels that were in the game. I guess before I go any further, I'm going to show you me unboxing this game a couple days ago, filmed by my brother who is just oh so amazing at camera recording. Here.
Don't be shaking the camera and crap.
Thanks, me. Here we are with the game. I got it this Sunday. Come on, camera guy.
I'm not paying anything, but you might as well try. Wow.
Litter right here on the floor.
Wow. It's the game from the Switch, but it's got a Switch 2 on it. That's crazy. Wow. That's amazing. Back to you, future me.
I would fire him, but he's doing it for free, so I'm not really going to complain. And I guess a little bit of background as well. I bought this game back on Black Friday in 2024 because GameStop was doing like a pre-owned game sale, I think, and it was like a really good deal to get this. It was like 30 bucks, I think, and I got another game for free. I want to say it was Super Mario All-Stars, I just remembered. I did play a lot of the original game, just never beat it, but it all changes with the Switch 2 edition. It's kind of weird because I don't remember the original being 30 FPS, but, this 60 FPS is a, noticeable difference, but I just never really noticed it in the original, With that being said, let's go into the game itself and check out to see what we got. Here we are in Neutral Plains, and we're at the first level. And as you can see, we have the original game's Point Arrival, but now we have the Star-Crossed World's Meteor Showers Arrival, and I'll show you where it kind of gets different. So on the first level, we go through a forest section, and then we enter this area, and we see a noticeable withered building, and it's just kind of showing us the scenery. But then we take a right here, and go through this whole other section of the game, and this is where you originally go. And here we are in the Star-Crossed World version, and we're about to enter that same exact area, except now we got a little cutscene, and this happens every time I play through the level because I played through it to get the collectibles and whatnot. Now this is completely covered with ice, and when we try to go through the original section of the game, we can't because it's completely blocked off. We can't go there anymore, so now we have to enter. I guess we hit this little crystal thing. I don't know what they're called. But now we're going up, through the building, and it takes us to a whole, it makes a whole different level out of what was already there. And I think that's what's really interesting about it. To me, this is something that would happen, once you beat the original level, then you unlock like a second part of the level, or a B-side, I like to call it. Thinking of Celeste when I say that. It's like 5% the same, and then 95% it's just a whole different thing. And it's all really fun. One of my other favorite ones with Abandoned Beach and then Fallen Star Beach, and I'll show you the original. This is like a normal water section where, you're going to swim through here, fight some enemies, typical Nintendo stuff, typical 3D platformer stuff. And once we enter this, another cutscene plays just like on the first level, and we part the Red Sea, and yeah, it just opens up a whole different perspective from what you already played. And that's not to mention that there's more collectibles that you can find throughout these new versions of the levels. And like I said, the Mouthful versions, the spring one would probably be my favorite. And yeah, it takes the original game, spruces it up a bit, and makes it better. Probably not $80 better, but you can go on eBay get the original for like 35 to 40 bucks last time I saw it, and then buy the $20 Switch 2 Edition upgrade, and then, you know, you have it for a lot less. I only bought this because I'm a physical game collector and I just like to have the release of the game. Matter of fact, I'm so into buying the physical releases of things that when the Switch 2 Welcome Tour came out, I decided to buy that at Walmart with the card just because I wanted something physical to hold to prove that I purchased it, as well as Fast Fusion, which I bought a few weeks later after launch. So when all said and done, I think that I would absolutely recommend the Switch 2 Edition upgrade, and I would rate this game very highly. I'd give it probably an 8.5 out of 10. This is some quality Nintendo stuff, and it's probably the best Switch 2 Edition we're going to get for a minute. Of course, I don't know if Nintendo plans to do Switch 2 Editions with like Mario Wonder or Pikmin 4 in the future. I know that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Pokemon Legends ZA is going to have Switch Editions, but those are more of just graphical improvements. This has, you know, new DLC that you can play. But yeah, it's a great buy, and it's the best Switch 2 Edition that Nintendo has done so far. So thank you for watching, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.